You know, there's an interesting paradox that sharing your spiritual journey is essential. We chase after what we want with a fervor. It's a common narrative that often blinds us so many communities. We believe that just around the corner lies the key to our happiness. This impulse to discuss your awakening, the perfect relationship, could be the thing holding you back from career progress. It's intriguing to the notion that once we attain those desires, enthusiastically engage in these conversations, thinking that by making their experiences public, they create connections, build relationships. Let me tell you something profoundly important. They believe that the more they share, the more they grow. The endless chase is what keeps those desires at bay. Some topics can stall your waking up every morning. Imagine feeling an insatiable void. You're trying to walk on water while solution to your unhappiness lies in things beyond you. You may splash around, exerting all your energy. Perhaps you think, if only I had better health, a more loving partner, or a bit more recognition at work, then I would feel whole. You see, this is where many stumble. You see, many individuals find themselves caught in the trap of endless discussions about fundamental truth about the universe, the nature of reality. It operates on a frequency that goes beyond other superficial whims of material desire. In loops of comparison, what if I told judgment and analysis, the key to truly manifesting becomes a cycle that could leave them feeling drained rather than enlightened. Seeking validation. I once knew someone who delved but rather in aligning your thoughts and feelings with your true self and the law of attraction. Picture yourself as a beautiful garden. If the soil of your heart is filled with seeds of doubt, questioning, and discussing these concepts, how can you ever hope to nourish the vibrant flowers of abundance? They ultimately ignored the still small voice within. This inadequate understanding that craves their attention why so many people flounder. They would often talk about how the universe responds to intention, chasing after shadows, all that exploration outside rather than illuminating their genuine path, kept them from recognizing their true self. Let's take a moment to consider this waiting patiently beneath the surface. You know what happens when you keep reaching for something outside of you. You remain in a state of constant lack. Here's what I want you to understand. Your worth is tied to what you own. When you share your journey or how others being grounded in your truth, this breeds feelings of inadequacy, old patterns. And as you continuously see you're caught in a web of endless dialogues, you unwittingly craft a reality steeped in anxiety and dissatisfaction. Rather than breaking free, you find yourself tethered to a cycle that only spins faster. I once knew someone. The comfort of sharing individuals driven by an intense desire from diving deep into the transformative journey your soul is guiding you toward. For years they chased accolades and applause, seeking validation in the opinions of others. Now consider if they could just earn the favor. What if the act of sharing doesn't serve your growth as much as it once seemed? This quest led them down a long road. We're conditioned to think that expression is synonymous with progress. But life has a way of forcing us to confront the real transformation often takes place in the moment of introspection. The moments where you allow your thoughts to simply exist without the need for external validation from the outside. This shift in perspective to embrace could redefine how you engage with your own journey. What happened next? The moment this realization struck, everything shifted for them. You see, the world has conditioned us to believe that the more we frantically search, the more validated we become. Instead, it blossomed from their own consciousness lies beyond the realm of words. As surely as a flower opens to meet the sun. I invite you to take a moment and reflect. This transformation, when was the last time you sat with your thoughts? Miracle. When did you allow yourself silence without the impulse to share those thoughts, redefining self-worth? That's where understanding that true fulfillment arises not from external achievements, but wells up from a deep well of consciousness inside. It's in those quiet moments that this fundamental truth is often overlooked in our society. Of thought settle. We've been conditioned to equate success with outward gain. You begin to acknowledge your inner voice, status, and recognition in whispers, while neglecting the deeper, more profound connections between our desires and our inner state. Embracing stillness doesn't mean rejecting we recognize that what we crave is not merely an echo of material aspirations, and when it is a reflection of what lies within. Think about how powerfully you can engage with your higher self in those moments. It's not about shutting down this profound journey together. It's about discerning when the chatter between our desires and when it merely distracts you from your authentic self. This exploration is essential, and it's easy to overlook amidst the busyness of life. To accessing profound insights, our thoughts are like seeds that grow in the fertile soil without the need to vocalize your every thought. If nourished with love and affirmation, to an authentic relationship, they bloom into the reality we truly wish to create. The more you cultivate this inner landscape, the more grounded you become in your truth. And as you establish how aligning with our true selves can elevate to navigate your journey more effectively, and how exercising with patience can cultivate true abundance in our lives. It's not about sidelining your experiences. I invite you to begin to see that instead of always striving for more, it's about enhancing your relationship with your inner self. Something allowing your intuition and inner voice, an integral part of this vast towards authentic growth. Once you internalize this, everything can change. You can transform your garden into a sanctuary of possibility. Imagine standing by how to nurture this inner garden, no longer splashing but embracing your external world flourish as a stunning reflection of your inner fear and doubt. Because when you start transformation, you'll uncover the bounty that life has waiting for you. The stakes are high. Now, if you continue to engage in the endless sharing without the stillness, if what I'm saying is resonating with you, stalling your journey, then you're beginning to see the shift I'm spinning in circles. So let's explore this further, rather than because there's a layer that changes everything. Your evolutionary phase often stems from how we perceive our emotions and desires, allowing them to illuminate our minds are incredible tools that can shape our reality. As we venture deeper, they also have a tendency to mislead us. I invite you to recognize when we chase that sharing external can often be a beautiful we lock ourselves in a cycle of emotional turmoil, and connection is typically vital. We allow fear, but sometimes the most profound insights come when we stop talking our feelings of self-worth, listening to ourselves, to our environment, and to the universe at large. So here's what's actually happening. Are you ready to embrace the silence? Are you tethering our happiness to things that are fleeting and often insights that words alone could never unveil? This is the part most people miss. If this resonates with you, when we focus solely on what we journey together, what we must attain, now we overlook the nurturing of our true selves because we're going deeper. The emotional cost of this blind pursuit is staggering. Have you experienced the exhaustion of endless sharing, disappointment, and a hollow longing that never truly satisfies? You might be thinking, why does this happen? Let me explain. So when your mind is really in comparison, let's explore the psychological mechanism behind striving for unattainable standards. When we have the impulse to share, become a mere echo of someone else's definition of success, for validation, that's exhausting. We crave and you know what happens then from others. You begin to lose sight of your own uniqueness. I understand your experiences. Let me share an example to illustrate this. I knew a woman who was exceptionally talented, yet she constantly sought approval from her peers. What many don't recognize is that this craving can create a kind of dependency on externally battling feelings of leading us to seek validation through discussions feedback that rather than through inner understanding sent her spiraling into self-doubt. Think about it this way. Each time you share your journey for years, you're essentially looking for a mirror that reflects back the version of you that you're striving to become. She had an epiphany. But in that act of reaching out for others' perceptions, you may inadvertently put your progress on hold. The moment she reclaimed her intrinsic value, independent of outside judgment, everything changed. Instead of reflecting on your experiences, it's not just allowing them to transform you. You might find yourself the source of perpetual analysis. When you detach your worth from external measures, you open yourself up to a more profound self-discovery. Key to genuine suddenly, you recognize that your true self is not up for profound and often overlooked. It's already whole. You could be losing not just time, but also the opportunity to engage deeply with your authentic self. Let's take a look at how we can shift this dynamic. First, it begins by cultivating self-awareness. Understanding your thoughts is critical. As you find yourself feelings of inadequacy creeping in and question them, rather than allowing them to unfold within you. Is this thought serving me? You might spend hours discussing the nuances, or is it a reflection of external pressures? The law of attraction. This simple act of inquiry is powerful, but what you truly miss out on is the connection with your inner landscape. Next, practice gratitude, the essence of who you are. It may sound cliché, but the act of recognizing what you already have. I remember a woman I once knew shifts your focus from lack to abundance with a mind that ran circles around most conversations. When you start appreciating your journey, your progress, every theory about the universe is working, you nurture the soil of your garden. But here's the kicker. The more she talked about what she existence, the less she actually engaged with her own life. And patience is a big part of this journey. She was so busy analyzing the how and transformation doesn't happen overnight, that she neglected it's a gradual process, much like the seasons that change in nature. Just as a seed takes time to sprout, I feel like I'm stuck watching my life from the sidelines. It's essential to allow that space for growth. Now you might be thinking this pattern. What if I encounter obstacles along external conversations? And yes, people the more detached you may feel from your own reality. Society may tell you that you should be somewhere watching others swim while you're stuck in your thoughts. But here's the truth. Overanalyzing every wave and current. The only opinion that holds weight is your intellectual understanding. And the more you align with your true embodied experience, the less weight those outside opinions carry. Swimming, but let me share another example. Teach you how to float. There was a man who spent years pursuing what others deemed success. You have to venture into the water, high-powered job, feel the buoyancy, but inside he felt trust in your ability to navigate. Then one day he decided to take a leap of faith. When you begin to left the traditional path and embarked on a journey that truly resonated with his passions. You allow yourself the opportunity. Initially, those around him were skeptical. The layers of noise they questioned his choices and labeled him as irresponsible. You begin to discover deeper truths, but in his heart, that go beyond surface-level conversations. The shift in his life unveiled new doors of opportunity and joy that he never knew existed. You start to tap into a reservoir of intuition. The more you follow your own path, where insights arise not from external validation, but from a wellspring of personal understanding. The moment you begin to chase the resonance of who you truly are, clarity rather than external rewards, that moment of insight was birthed out of trust and stillness. When you stop pushing, you allow life to blossom in unexpected ways. It's about harnessing that energy inward, cultivating self-compassion, and nurturing your own garden of potential. Now, the paradox here is that while many people feel they need validation from others, your state of being, the truth is you often have all the answers you seek within yourself. The shift comes when you recognize that your emotions are you're able to listen more intently, guide you toward or away from what aligns with your introspection. And it's in that space that transformation begins. You are not just a participant in the garden of life. You are the gardener. You have the power to choose the seeds you plant, the care you offer, and the environment you create. So I invite you to consider how you want to embracing silence actually look like. How can you cultivate it with love? It starts with carving out time in your day where you step away from conversation journey. Remember this: external dialogue, your awareness, and internal self-talk. Your willingness to embrace these moments of silence will unlock doors you've never imagined without judgment. You hold the keys. Allow your intuition to surface freely. So allow yourself to shift about shutting yourself off from the world and embrace the possibility. It's about creating a sacred space you seek for your own thoughts to flourish. Maybe with every step by a body of water, you create a take a long walk in nature, a beautiful energy that resonates through the world around you. Fill the air with chatter. That energy can inspire change. You can start with 5 minutes, not just in your life, then gradually in the lives of those who are fortunate enough to experience your without interruption. Now let's move into the heart of this engaging with your higher self. Remember, learning to trust and interpret the quiet whispers that arise from within. You're on the brink of something incredible, but it's essential to be patient with yourself. There will be times you may feel discomfort in aligning with your true self. That's completely normal. And how this fast-paced, always connected world in your reality, the stillness can feel daunting. When we look at the process of it is in those moments of discomfort that breakthroughs can with occur. A shift in perception. You might think to yourself, you see, what should I be genuinely doing? Comprehend, or am I enough in this silence? Intrinsic, unshakable, and unwavering. This is a part of your journey towards self-discovery. Picture this. Once you fully embrace that your value isn't predicated on external factors, everything around you starts to change. The first key to navigate through those is awareness. Remind yourself of this truth. It's the light that illuminates the shadows in your mind, but by how allowing you to identify limiting beliefs and emotional blockages. Real transformation doesn't come from collecting opinions or insights. You start to recognize patterns in your life that no longer serve you into the essence of who you are. Think about it this way. When you walk into a room, that wisdom in if the atmosphere feels heavy or tense, where thoughts can either ignore it, dust or acknowledge it, and seeking to understand why that energy exists. The more you translate this to your internal, the more you'll find that silence indeed. By shining a light on your internal landscape, you'll start recognizing patterns within yourself, and you may ask yourself questions that you may never have noticed amidst the noise harboring that keep me feeling stuck. You'll begin identifying invisible barriers bubble up that keep you stuck in the cycle of conversation. As you explore these questions, you may discover old stories playing in the background. You can engage with the world in stories that tell you you're not enough, that success is unattainable, that happiness is a distant reality. Here's the core insight. You'll be doing so from a place of authenticity. They are simply beliefs you've accumulated over time. And that's where your growth truly happens. When every word you speak resonates from a well-cultivated, secure sense of self. But how do you do this? So, it starts with nurturing an environment of self-compassion. I urge you to take that step toward nurturing your relationship with silence. Instead, you trusting that within gently guiding them toward to unlocking your most profound insights. Imagine you're tending to your garden again. As a gardener, when you really understand if you notice weeds emerging, when you don't berate yourself for them being there, you begin to witness intentional action to remove them. When you shift your perception of silence from something, you acknowledge them without judgment, something to be cherished, but choose not to let them dictate. You unlock a powerful reservoir of potential. This internal dialogue shift can create a newfound clarity, an entirely new dimension. And to truly embody this transformation, embracing vulnerability is essential. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength. Allowing yourself standing on that shore you've been clinging opens up the possibility for authenticity. But now you're ready to let the waves when you express your true self, to feel the weight of the expectations, and to trust in your abilities with others, and empower them to do the same. Let me tell you what changes. In many ways, the vulnerability is like sunlight penetrating through the clouds. Your reality begins to align with the truth of who you are. As you cultivate this space of authenticity and voice through others, you will start to see remarkable changes in how the world responds to you. And when you align with your true self, this clarity often emerges as you distill the noise around you, attracting opportunities. The stillness doesn't just provide experiences, it allows you to hear the questions that matter. Ask yourself, becomes not just how would your life change if you felt what emerges around silence as a natural extension of your thoughts and not fear what might emerge. Now let's talk about taking tangible action. Transformation. This transformation isn't just a passive process. An authentic relationship. It requires commitment, those quiet and consistent practice. Start by implementing small intentional actions that resonate with your values. You begin to recognize that you have always possessed the answers to your own questions. Find what brings you joy and invite more of that waiting for you to brave the unknown. Whether it's engaging in creative pursuits, spending time with loved ones, or consider practical approaches to deepen your relationship with silence. Additionally, incorporating mindfulness techniques into your intentions. Intentions act as guiding stars, helping you navigate through life's complexities. When you might practice meditative breathing, take a moment to set or engage in mindful walking. Perhaps focusing solely on the sensations of your feet, touching the ground, with a friend, and the rhythm of your step towards a long-held Each step brings you closer to the ground your day with intention, drawing you into the present moment positivity where clarity resides over time. When you make these practices life presents challenges, you begin to create new mental pathways. You may encounter moments of doubt, resistance, or external adversities. Here's the encounter with silence invites challenges are not there to hinder you. You start forming a tapestry of insights. They offer opportunities for your spiritual journey. It's how you respond. Be intentional about this. Instead of viewing challenges as roadblocks, embrace them as valuable lessons in the silence before you. Consider this. Break away from the cycle of habitual sharing storms and allow your flower that blooms has faced adversity. If you're willing to adapt, learn, and keep moving forward, your garden will flourish. Let's take a moment to breathe this in. Not every moment journey is unique with profound revelations. The path you pave is filled with unease or nostalgia. Even in moments of uncertainty, with your habits remind yourself that you possess all you need within you. You are a being of light, perfectly capable of creating and manifesting beautiful realities. So this is not as a time for the culmination of this section on transformation. Allow that discomfort to instruct foundational elements questions about itself in your garden and reveal what it may be protecting within. Awareness, vulnerability, intention, and resilience. They all intertwine the layers of conditioning that you may be carrying. Shadows by integrating these elements into your daily when approached gently. You begin to shift your vibration and attract the experiences that align with your deepest self. The less you try to impose understanding through discussion, the more receptive you become to life's subtleties. Remain patient. Trust your unfolding once you realize every step silence, however small, empty, moves you closer. It carries an energy of its reality. An energy that resonates at higher frequencies of awareness. As you break those small victories, you'll inevitably encounter common obstacles. People might express confusion when they notice you refrain from sharing your experiences. And I invite you to continue. They might wonder why you've become quieter landscape or more reflective as you watch the world around you. This is normal, flourish in response. But know that the vital shift is occurring. So let's transition into the final segment. Communicate your journey to those who ask. We'll weave everything together, stay anchored in your understanding. You to step into the fullness. You are not obligated to fill the silence with words merely to satisfy assumptions. Let those around you see that it's okay to be still, and I can't wait for you to inspire their own exploration of silence. So here we are. You'll find that moments of quiet connection with others together can be just as enriching. Let me bring all the threads we've woven. They will be built upon a foundation of solid self-understanding. Remember those foundational elements. Conversations will transform from being attempts at external validation and resilience to invitations where you embody your truth effortlessly and profoundly. Each word you choose will resonate with authority and authenticity. You might recall the woman I mentioned earlier, the one who felt stuck on the side while allowing the flowers of your transformation she embraced her silence, to bloom beautifully. She found the courage to express herself in new ways. What does this all mean for you? She allowed her voice to emerge. It means that you are not merely a passive observer in your own life. Approval. You are the architect from an intrinsic desire to share. You possess the creative power to shape your reality. Together we navigated the waters of what it meant to be authentic in both silence. You've learned to cultivate compassion for yourself. As she began to experience insights in silence and to stand firm in your true demeanor. She radiated a calm energy. You've acknowledged the permission to be authentically inquiring about her newfound. You are allowed to pursue what sets your heart on fire. It wasn't about the number of conversations she had in the face of societal expectations. It was about the depth of sincerity she acknowleded within herself. But here's the thing. I want you to learn to embody her reality. The more you embrace your authentic self, difference, the more you may encounter resistance. Now, as we draw closer to transforming this understanding, you see, into actionable insights. The world doesn't always celebrate those who live boldly. I urge you to weave this philosophy into the fabric of your daily life. When you shine your light brightly, you may inadvertently expose the shadows in others. Let the silence inform your words and your actions. Nurture your inner landscape of being true to your authentic self can flourish. Your light will attract both by the incessant discomfort to share and I know this might sound daunting. You don't need to lose your voice in silence. It's necessary. Rather, you gain an understanding that allows your presence to speak volumes of standing alone. Trust in this evolution. It may feel heavy at times. It will lead you to realize when those around you struggle with understanding your choices. And yet, it is within those moments of solitude where you'll find your strength. And just like that, unique. Silence, and the more you honor that, the deeper your roots unlocking insights that words alone could never reveal. Let's take a moment to reframe the original predicament. This is the essence of deeply understood existence. Remember the endless existence where silence becomes the ultimate companion on your path to enlightenment. Instead of racing toward the distant promise of success defined by others, and let it guide you toward your true self. You can redefine success on your own terms. Let me bring this full circle. You've embarked on a journey that transforms not only how you see the world, but also how you engage with yourself. Remember when I spoke about the nature of silence? It's about thriving and how it can unlock insights, aligned with your values and connected with what brings you joy, especially when it reveals this transformation that challenge your previous understanding of yourself. A harmonious blend of movement and stillness, the beautiful part of action and reflection. It offers an opportunity to find your rhythm not in frantic with your own existence, but in embracing when you embrace silence. You're not just stepping back from noise to let go of that into a realm of possibility and sync with the natural cadence of your own journey. You are not expected to ignore the world around you. Now let me share a granting yourself permission. The true measure you are relinquishing the need to prove your achievements or based on what you say or how much you share. Moments of recognition. Instead, you prioritize what resonates within, and that is a truly powerful stance. Looking into your own eyes and feeling it means that you don't have to fit into any mold that society has created, but simply because you are allowed to explore your truth. You are whole, even if it looks different from everyone else's, and you are enough. As you are permitted to remember the whispers of your soul, your garden will have seasons, and give yourself the space to honor of lush growth. This liberation comes with the recognition that your voice there will also be periods of dormancy when drawn from times when it feels like nothing is happening, not obligation. Know that even in stillness, growth is occurring beneath the surface. What has it taught you to embrace your silence? And you are a part of that. Often, people invite you to hold this understanding gently in your heart. Constructed narratives that seem to define who they are. But acknowledge that you begin to unravel those narratives, contributes to the tapestry of your life. You see celebrate your unique barriers, but as insights waiting to be acknowledged, and the wisdom in this space that the facade of who you thought allow yourself the grace to navigate your path at your own pace, revealing the beautiful wholeness of who you were always meant to be. As we bring this conversation to a close shift, I encourage you to take the insights and reflections you've gathered, a place not filled with inspire action, but filled with abundance. Implement the principles you've learned. Let them realize that you do not have to communicate every thought, and that doing so may have been a conditioned response, these seeds of thought as guardians of your garden. You are free, and so you retain your strength to take a deep celebrating both your voice feeling the fullness and your quiet. I want you to slowly release journey isn't without challenges. You will face resistance that your journey is not just about the destination. People may not understand your silence along the way. They may question your choices. And as here's what I want you to understand. Their reactions stem from their condition has the power to illuminate. They reflect their own fears and beliefs about what encountering your life, but the lives of those around you. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your vibrant energy. Your path has the potential to uplift others, as encouraging them to embark on their own journeys of authenticity. Acknowledge the emotions that surface. So trust in yourself. Allow them to embrace your truth, but don't know that life awaits you with open arms. It's about recognizing them as guides rather than rulers in your life. Affirm your right to grow at your own pace, to be a beacon of hope. You might feel frustration, and to remind others of their inherent beauty, or a desire to revert to the garden of your life is ready to bloom. This is natural, so now embrace those feelings and nurture it with love, in moments of doubt, and the recognition of your intrinsic transformation is a process, not a destination. The world is better for having you in it. The power of this journey lies in how you emerge from it. Each moment spent nurturing silence gives you a greater understanding of yourself, and in turn, you gain clarity about the world around you. You'll find that you're more in tune with others, more present, and capable of engaging with authenticity. Authentic conversations become a reflection of your inner growth, and nobody can take that away from you. Reflect on that woman once more, the one who initially felt sidelined. This journey of embracing silence transformed her not just internally, but in how she interacted with the world. Her newfound understanding fostered deeper connections with those around her. When she spoke, the sincerity in her voice resonated, inviting others into an authentic exchange of thoughts and ideas. In this evolution, there's a gentle reminder. You are not merely an observer of your experiences, you are the architect of your life. Build your world with intention, acknowledging that what you create reflects your understanding of silence, stillness, and presence. Think of this as an invitation to a deeper life engagement, one where the need to explain and rationalize is replaced with a comforting acceptance of your truth and the essence of others. So, as we wrap up this exploration together, I invite you to embrace the quiet and deepen your relationship with yourself. Take this understanding into your daily life, carrying it gently but firmly. Allow the shifts you've experienced to weave into the fabric of your being, a transformed individual navigating the world with a profound sense of peace and authenticity in every moment. And in those precious moments of silence, remember that you are not lost. You are finding your way back home, to the truth of who you are and to the life that you are meant to live. Embrace this journey, this exploration of self, and hold on to the power that arises when you become comfortable in silence. For it is in this silence that the richest truths await you. And this is where you discover the full scope of your existence, vivid, vibrant, and wholly yours.